channel. Yeah, so admittedly, this is probably one of my most informal streams ever, besides trying to, play Morrowind for the first time, which that got deleted. I'll try it again soon, some point soon. And do forgive me as I update social media here. Today I am working on cooking up some recipes from the official Elder Scrolls Cookbook by my good friend Chelsea Monroe Cassell. Good internet friend. Chelsea Monroe Cassell, also known as the Inn at the Crossroads, or the author of the official Game of Thrones cookbook, as well as the official World of Warcraft cookbook, and soon to be the official Firefly cookbook. I am super jealous of this woman, but at the same time, she does an amazing job, and if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have started blogging. So, I got this a few weeks ago. Been kind of leafing through it, trying to figure out what recipes would be good to do for my review, because I don't really believe in doing a review of a cookbook unless you actually try to cook from it. I mean, you can read it through and everything, but you don't really know until you actually try cooking through it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I originally wasn't going to stream it, but you thought, this could be fun. I don't have to worry about putting the whole show on with makeup and everything. I don't have to develop a recipe ahead of time. Today I'm just working on cooking someone amazing's recipes, and you can take pictures afterwards. You're not going to see that part because that would require me to disconnect everything, and no, just not going to try doing that. But that's okay. So I'm sure you kind of want to take a look through that, so we're just going to switch to my prep cam. Here we are, the Elder Scrolls Cookbook by Insight Editions and Chelsea Monroe Cassell. I forgot to mention this. The music you're listening to is from Sirenscape, which is a free source ambiance music tool that you can use for your gaming sessions, like tabletop and all that. And you're listening currently to the soundscape of Friendly Tavern. I managed to put down a lot of the sound effects down quite a bit, so hopefully you won't hear simulated belching throughout the stream. But anyway, the official Elder Scrolls Cookbook. Now, what I'm seeing so far, and what I really like about this, is that Chelsea totally did her research in Scandinavian cooking, as well as describing the different flavor profiles of the races in Tamriel, which I think is super cool. And like all of her other cookbooks so far, she also has created spice blends that you can mix up at home to go into your recipes, like the Imperial Seasoning, Stormcloak Seasoning. I believe these are the two we're going to be making today, because the other recipes we're going to be making today are kind of go into making these. We're going to be making some Imperial Mushroom Sauce to go along with the entree we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making some classic apple and cabbage soup. Isn't that picture amazing? And we're going to be making some Horker loaf, because that just looks freaking fantastic. Some honey nut treat. And finally, even though we won't be able to taste it this session, we're going to be making some skooma, because what Elder Scrolls game is there without skooma? So, that said, it is time to start prepping some things before I start driving myself nuts with all the details. So what I probably want to start with first are my spice blends, because that's probably going to come into play pretty quickly. So, just use a bowl to weigh this down. Okay, I'm going to need dried dill. Oh god, did it actually stop playing for me? Come on, music. Just need to have that perpetual. Okay, that's funny. Alright, yes. Into my spice arsenal we shall go. Just switch to the tripod cam. Grains of Paradise, which I do not have. Chances are you're probably not going to have as well, but that's okay. As I've learned from not only this cookbook, but her previous Game of Thrones cookbook, you can substitute grains of paradise with black pepper. So I have to find, it's right here. Silly me. Okay, so black pepper, dried dill, mustard powder, which I also do have. Let's see here. Are you in here? No, you're not. You're in here. Of course you are. I have way too many spices in this particular tub. All right, where is... Okay, I am going to need dried thyme, so I'm going to keep that out. Mustard powder. All right. And let's see here. Fennel seeds, which I also do have. So, fennel seeds. I know you're in here. I just used you. Grr. Aha. I hope this is enough. So, 2 teaspoons. Well, I'm not going to need that much Stormcloak seasoning, so we'll see what I can, maybe I can half the recipe down to make that worth what I need. So, okay, Stormcloak seasoning. Let's go ahead and make up a batch. Switch to my prep cam here. And, yeah, okay, so, teaspoons and other measure of certain types. Oh, right, and I'm gonna need my mortar and pestle because I've got my fennel seeds. So, right, I think I'm gonna only make about a half portion of this since I'm not entirely absolutely sure if I have enough. So let's see if I have that teaspoon first. And see if also Facebook posted because I'm paranoid. Okay, good. Good, it did. All right, so what was I doing? Right, I was doing things. Okay, so about a teaspoon here. Okay. I have 2 teaspoons. Let's make a full batch then. All right. And I'm definitely going to need to stock back up on my fennel seeds soon. Wait, do I need it for the other? Just making absolutely sure that 1 teaspoon imperial seasoning and Stormcloak seasoning. Okay. Let's see if imperial seasoning requires. Oh, good. It does not actually require fennel seeds. Good. I am not using up all of the things before I need to. That's good. So, fennel seeds. Okay, that's going to get really annoying for me having to restart this music. Are you going to replay for me? There were times like these when I kind of wish I could just use Spotify, but oh well, can only do so much. Yeah. Good thing I don't have any disgusting stuff on my hands right now, or I can actually use my computer. Right, so, fennel. Grains of paradise, i.e. black pepper. So I need a half teaspoon of that. And see, a full teaspoon of mustard powder. Pardon me. Yeah, the pollen is back in full force after so much rain down in Georgia. And I'm going to need 2 teaspoons of dried dill. So does that fit? Nope. So 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And now I just need to grind that stuff up. Now, if you're wondering where I got my mortar and pestle, I actually got it from IKEA. It's a $20 mortar and pestle, which is nice considering that you can find similar stuff at maybe, what's it called, Williams-Sonoma for about twice or 3 times the price. So, I am all about economy. And if you're wondering if you've ever really heard of fennel seeds, there's a chance that you've tasted it rather than seen it. If you've ever had Italian sausage, it is the most prominent flavor you're going to get in Italian sausage. So if you eat something with fennel seed, it kind of tastes like a pizza. Just to give you an idea. And this is certainly starting to smell like a pizza. Now, the description from the book of this spice blend is that this is one of the most popular seasoning mixes across the breadth of Skyrim, where nearly every garden boasts a little corner dedicated to growing most of these ingredients. The grains of paradise are imported, and if the cost is too dear, ordinary black pepper can be substituted, which we did. It makes for a mixture that goes well with vegetables, fish, meat, and savory baking. Or pizza. So keep that in mind. And I think that's about as much as I'm going to get out of this blend. So I'm just going to stick that into a prep dish and hopefully remember actually, no, I'm going to make this easy on myself. I'm going to use 2 different types of prep dishes for my spice blend so I don't mix them up. So, let's see, the Storm Cloak seasoning can go right into this little white dish here. There we go. And can just go off and sit on the side while I prep my other seasoning blend. Oh my god, you're killing me, Sirenscape. I need music, and you're not delivering. You're just going to give me sounds of people laughing and other stuff? Really? Okay, let's change this up to drinking time. No, that's not helping either. Gah. Music. I want music. Alright, back to Quiet Corner. And music. Give me music. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I am trying, I normally would use Broke for Free's music on this stream, but it's not really appropriate for any of the Elder Scrolls games, so until I happen to find a royalty-free music source that's mostly folk music, I'm open to suggestions. It's going to be me going back and forth on this thing here. Right, so we're done with our Stormcloak seasoning. So now let's go for the Imperial seasoning. So for that, I should probably put all this away. I'm going to need dried marjoram, dried savory. This is when the cook here decides that she needs to Google savory. Savory spice, and hopefully give me an actual response. Let's see. Savory. Okay, the herb savory carries a bold, peppery flavor. It comes in both summer and wintry varieties. So, what's the substitute for savory? Okay, so thyme, marjoram, or sage. Well, considering that my dish, like I said, I'm making horkerloaf, apple cabbage stew. I know that it requires dried thyme in the apple cabbage stew, so I'm going to substitute savories in this recipe for imperial seasoning with dried thyme instead. And here's my marjoram. Here's marjoram, dried thyme, coriander seeds. I believe I have that as well. So, I know I probably should have actually checked my spice arsenal before I started all of this. Aha! Coriander seed. Do I need any more black pepper? I do not. I need white pepper, which I do have. I'm not kidding when I say I have a bit of a spice arsenal in here. part of it is the advantage of living in Atlanta, is that I have access to DeKalb Farmers Market. DeKalb Farmers Market is this giant, I would say, supermarket of various, like, all these various imported and local produce and fish and all. You can find practically anything at DeKalb Farmers Market, including what I'm calling an entire wall of spices. I would send you a picture, but the rules to shop at this market specifically do not allow photography inside. So one of the things I love about this place, about this wall of spices, is that the wall is covered not with little spice jars, no, with tubs of spices. So to give you an idea, this is my white pepper, and to give you an idea of how much it was for a tub this large, $3, which is ridiculous. My dried thyme, 89 cents. So yeah, I promise I don't work for them. It's just something I highly recommend if you like cooking and if you happen to find yourself in the Atlanta area. Just go on a pilgrimage, a spice pilgrimage, like the days of the Middle Ages. So, okay, so I'm going to need a teaspoon of coriander seed. Let's just get that in there. Make sure I'm replacing the right tops here. So marjoram, that's not marjoram, that's Italian seasoning. Where do my marjoram go? Aha, here it is. So I will need 3 teaspoons of dried marjoram. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And 3 teaspoons of dried savory, which in this case we are going to use dried whole thyme leaves to replace it. I think it'll also give it a sweeter taste too. So 1, 2, 3. All right. And then I need a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper, which went somewhere. I just had it. I was just showing it off to you. Oh, I put it underneath everything. Music. I need music. There we go. Sounds a little like something out of Zelda, actually, come to think of it. Alright, so 1/4 teaspoon. That's what we got here. 1/4 teaspoon. There we go. Ah! You don't move out of the way. I am your mother, and you will do as I tell you. Haha. Okay. All right. Then we're just gonna, excuse me. I'll be right back. Apologies for that. Like I said, the pollen in Georgia right now is, oh, it is in full force. Okay. So I'm just gonna smash all this up. Especially since those seeds are gonna give me some trouble. The smell is delightful though. You know, what I can smell of it, considering that my allergies are starting to kick in. This is a great arm workout, actually. Just raise your stats while cooking up a delightful meal. mean, granted, I could use my coffee grinder, but then I'd have to clean it. Let's try this, and to kind of flatten out those seeds a little better. It has a little bit more surface area on the bottom. So yeah, if you're wondering why pestles are shaped this way, it's like you have that side and that side, depending on your usage. Okay. I think that is about as smashed up as I'm going to get. So. Just pour that into this dish and try to remember that this is in fact imperial seasoning. All right, so that is 2 recipes down, and now we've got a few more to go. So what I'm going to be doing now throughout is just doing a lot of prep as we go. Partially also because I don't want to serve up porker loaf quite yet, but this way I also have everything ready to go and kind of assemble and figure out. So, you know, this is going to drive me crazy. You know what? Tell you what, I'm going to, do you want a little bit better? I'm going to pull up the Bandcamp pages of a couple of my friends, because I know, like, I can at least have an album going. So let's start out with, what's her name? Why can't I not remember the name of my friend at the last minute? Oh, S.J. Tucker, yes. Well, actually, no, let's start out with Nathaniel Johnstone, because his music has a lot of belly dancing type music, which is good for ambiance as well as, you know, for the Redstone Guard. Red Guard. I remember things. Okay, Bandcamp, Nathaniel Johnstone, and then also the advantage is we don't have to worry about commercials. So let's start with more releases. Let's start out with The Heart Unwound. Yeah. This much better. Okay. Yeah, Nathaniel Johnstone. If you ever heard of the steampunk band Abney Park, he is their former violinist and one of their songwriters. He is an amazing musician and an amazing person all around. So I highly recommend his music. He's also at DragonCon every year too. So if you want to go give him a listen, I highly recommend it. And afterwards, tell him that Catherine Barson sent him. Or the Gluttonous Geek, whichever works for you. Alright, so for the Imperial mushroom sauce, I'm going to need 10 ounces of button mushrooms. Now this is about 16 ounces. I think I've already used about 2 ounces, but let's just do some slicing. Alright, so a quick tutorial on how to properly hold a chef's knife. Or just properly hold a kitchen knife in general. Yeah, index finger of your dominant hand, put that under the blade right here, rubbed against. Then put your thumb here. And then just kind of comfortably wrap your fingers around. So it looks like they just want them diced, okay, instead of sliced. So in that case, biggest thing with dicing is trying to make things as comfortable as possible. Now I kind of want about a 1/2 inch dice, so I'm just going to cut like that in half. And this is a bad idea. There we go. The biggest thing is you kind of want everything around the same size so it cooks evenly. So So you say you took that half. I mean, technically I could just do that. I mean, that's probably the safest way to do it. That looks about 1/2 inch, so I'm just going to keep it at that. Pardon me again, gotta blow my nose again. Okay, yeah. I realized I forgot to turn my mic back on. Brilliant. Like I said, I'm just gonna slice this up for my personal use and also before it goes bad. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit for you so it's not too distracting. Okay. Now I say I carry around a giant, well, I have a giant bag of frozen leeks. I'm not kidding, so. Okay. Alright, so now I need to slice up those apples. Wherever the heck I put them. Ah! They're right here. Alright, so it says to use red or green apples. I decided to use both. So we've got a Honeycrisp apple here. And Granny Smith right here. I figure it would be a good combo of flavors, especially since Honeycrisp tends to be a little sweeter to kind of offset the tartness of the Granny Smith. So for that, I just need to core and dice it. Though I'm gonna get some lemon juice out of my fridge too to keep it from browning. Considering that I haven't really quite started cooking it yet, I'm just doing prep at the moment, and I don't want it to look all gross in my photos. So, needs it cored and diced. I got this, I mean, I could just show you how to, I'll tell you what, I'll show you how to do both. So, to core it, without having core, well, I mean, it's a little bit more time consuming, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna need it diced. Well, I wanted the picture I'm seeing of it in here. It looks like it's been diced into about, I want to say 1-inch chunks as opposed to 1/2 inch. So I'm going to try doing that. Do it a little thicker than normal. Just trying to see how she sliced it here. Okay, so yeah, about inch thick chunks here. That's a little bit more of a 1/2 inch, but it's rustic. So you see my slices here? I'm just gonna cut the core out. And then well, let's do 1/2 inch. I've changed my mind. Let's see. Let's get another. Yep, stuff just flying all over my kitchen. Don't mind me. I'll use these. Okay, we'll use that one. I only have so much room in my kitchen, you know. So, all right. And you see there's only the core in about one piece of that apple, so there we go. Hey. Okay. Yeah, back here. Yeah, for those wondering what that sound was, that was my roommate coming in and getting a glass of water. So, yeah. Okay, so nice how to do it that coring manually with a knife. Now we're gonna use one of these thingies to remove the core for us. And there you go. Which, you know, if you're doing a recipe that requires a lot of apples, like a pie, I highly recommend one of these. All right. I kind of forgot how much humor is on this album. Okay. And did I kind of mention that Nathaniel used to be in Abney Park? So, yeah, a lot of steampunk stuff in his current lyrics, so. And that's not him singing, that's his friend Dogwood. Yes, her name's Dogwood. Or Kate, I think. She has a beautiful voice and she's an amazing person too, so. For those just joining us, I'm cooking recipes from the official Elder Scrolls Cookbook. Right now I'm working on prepping ingredients for apple and cabbage soup, or stew, don't mind me. I wish I could say that this is my cookbook. No, it's Chelsea Monroe Cassell's, who also did the official Game of Thrones cookbook, as well as the official World of Warcraft cookbook. I am super jealous and happy for her at the same time. So, yeah, I'm just going to toss some lemon juice on that to keep it from browning. I'm just going to stick that back in the fridge for now. If I have room in the fridge. I do. Here you go. Stay. All right. Cool. And now that I've got that chopped up, I need to chop cabbage. Just have to need about a half a head chopped thin, okay? This was the smallest head of cabbage I could find at Kroger, so... Oh. Just trying to think of the cleanest way of doing this. A little bit of cabbage goes a long way. Okay. What I'm going to do with the rest of this, I guess roast it. I don't know. Though there is a recipe for cabbage biscuits. in the book. So if you have a lot of leftover cabbage from your soup, well, I guess you can make that. I might make that later. Okay, so now I just want to slice through that because I want to take this core out here. There we go. And the core is already out of that side, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Okay, so it looks like from the book that she did thin strips, so that would be a chiffonade. So what I want to do is first kind of cut like that. And there we go. Cut it like an onion a little bit before doing what I normally do with the basil and start cutting it into thin strips, i.e. chiffonade. Watch my thumb as I'm doing this. Cool. That's a lot of cabbage, so that's going to be in a larger bowl. Actually, that's only half of it, so it's going to go in my largest bowl. It's fine, it's cabbage. Okay. I wonder if you meant a quarter head of cabbage. I guess it cooks down. Alright, discard those outer leaves because they don't look so nice. Stay. Okay. I think that music is getting... Oop, that was a bad idea. I'm going to turn down my main audio a little bit lower to see if that... Okay, good. It's starting to show up in my mic, and that's not good. What am I doing? My head is way too thin. That's what happens when you cut things while distracted. Toss this. Okay. Whew. All right. Stick that back in the fridge too. With what's it? Stormcloak seasoning? No, that's not used in there. Okay. Do I have room in my fridge? Yes, I do. In the crisper drawer. Cool. Alrighty. And now that my hand and cutting board smells like cabbage, let's fix that. I'm gonna switch up the album, I think. Let's go with, who else do I want to feature today? Let us play some of S.J. Tucker's stuff. Let's see here. I'm going to play... I guess Stolen Season's a good one. I mean, they're all good ones, but... There we go. Right, done with the apple cabbage stew so far. And now I'm going to skip the pork loaf for now because I need my food processor for the the honey nut treat. And I don't want my honey nut treat smelling like oysters. So, yeah. Okay, so that means I just need to do a bit of measuring out here. Let's switch us to the stove cam, and I'll just put it on my food processor for now. So didn't knock my microphone out, did I? Good, I didn't. Okay. And let's see about aiming you over. That's my stove. That's my shirt. That's my food processor. And a very messy countertop. I apologize, guys. It's been a long week. So, for the sweet nut treat, I am going to need a cup of pitted dates, which are over here. All right. Measuring cup. It's been pitted, right? Yes, they have. So. Okay. That's about a cup. Just dump that in there. And golden raisins. Half a cup of golden raisins. Okay. I will admit, I'm bad. I have a tendency to check social media. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Golden raisins. I have lines inside of that. Yes, I do. What do they say? Ah, excellent. A bit more. Okay, that's about a half cup. And what else needs to go in there? I need to measure out rolled oats and almonds. Rolled oats and all those almonds I just bought. I think are still on the countertop. Yes, there they are. All right, so it says that I need to pulse the dates and raisins in a food processor until there are no large bits remaining. Why aren't you working? Oh, that would be why. Okay. Okay, I am not currently seeing any large bits in there anymore. So that means I can now add, what's it, a cup of rolled oats. Okay. Cup rolled oats. And a cup of sliced almonds. More times to incorporate. Okay. 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 All right. That is looking good. So, I'm just going to stick that in another mixing bowl. I'm going to give that a wash before making my meatloaf. So, let's go back to the prep cam here. Okay, so wow. I'm running out of mixing bowls. Goodness. Let's see. I'm just reading the book at this point. So I'm going to need a quarter cup of honey and a quarter cup of peanut butter. So probably okay using one of these for that. So let's find my honey and peanut butter. Honey and peanut butter? A peanut butter. And it doesn't matter whether it's crunchy or creamy according to the recipe, so I'm just gonna put that. That's not a quarter cup, that's a third cup. That's an eighth a cup. That's fine. How much is an eighth of a cup again? Is it like it's 2 tablespoons? Hold on. Okay. So, gonna need about 2 tablespoons of that. 4 tablespoons of that, of peanut butter. Hopefully I have enough peanut butter. Might just be the rest of this jar, actually. Three. And 4. I still have some left. Okay. Cabbage, you can go in the fridge. Free up some counter space. I mean, not all of it, but free up some of my counter space here. So that's a quarter cup of peanut butter. So now a quarter cup of honey. Ah, pardon for the view. Okay. Is that 2? Yes, that was 2. Come on. Okay. And then one more. Looks like I need to also measure out. Oh, I don't really need to measure out. It just says pinch of salt and pinch of cinnamon. Okay. Cool. Okay. Alright, it says to microwave. So it's a little runny, so this, my experience with honey is it tends to heat up pretty quickly, so I'm going to test it out at like 15 seconds on high. Alright, what else do I need to do? In the meantime, I need to add some salt and cinnamon. So, I need to refill my salt. Let's see. Is that looking? Is it a little runny? Oh yeah. That is plenty runny. Well, the honey is definitely runnier. Oh gosh. Actually, what I might do, I'm gonna add the salt and cinnamon to the peanut butter mix so it's well incorporated. I'm gonna go a tiny bit off book there. Refill my salt first. So, actually no, pinch of salt to the nut mixture. Cinnamon is in here. Nope, it's here. Underneath everything, of course. Because that's just where it happens to fall on the alphabet. Take another little tasting spoon here. That's a good amount. I meant to do that to the other thing. Right. Either way, it's all going into the same bowl. So, I think I want it a little runnier than that. So I'm going to put it in for another 7 seconds, I think. Oh boy. Start putting stuff back so I start having more counter space. Ah, stop it. Okay. Alright. Okay, that looks perfect. Let's get a spatula out to do the mixing. All right. Okay, now it says to mix vigorously until you have a thick consistency. Oh. Ooh. What? Tastes good. All right. It's tasty. Okay. Right. And mix vigorously. Probably should have stirred the salt in first. Oh well. And it's not just stirring, it's also kind of stir and folding all of that in. Now, looks like I want to, if I want to have the picture, have it look like the picture, I'm going to have to mix it until it looks about that color, and all of it's moistened to the point where it's kind of candy more than anything else. Okay, this recipe says it makes about 3 skewers, okay? Yeah, right now I'm just learning that most of these recipes are going to give you an arm workout. I am not complaining. Okay, that is looking good. But still a little dry, so once again, stir and fold. I will admit, I'm half tempted to go out outside and get some rosemary branches to put these on. I think I might have some rosemary branches left from Thanksgiving that are still okay. Let me check my fridge real quick. Okay. As luck would have it, I have 2. Those still look good. Okay. So, just gonna strip those. That smells really good. Okay, here's one. This might be my photo skewer right here. Okay, and let's see. Yep, this rosemary is just fine to use. Okay. All right. Cool. So, got some rosemary branches. So what I want to do, I'm going to try to divide this up. Okay. And this is where I try to figure out how to work ninths and out of a circle. Oof. Okay. Nope. Let's work thirds then. Okay. So now I just need to take this and split it into 3. Find a plate to put this on right now. Let's do this one. There we go. Now the book suggests that the rougher the skewer, the better the treats will stick. So rough up your wooden skewers, or use the rosemary branch. I mean, it's okay. There we go. So, honey nut treat from the Elder Scrolls Cookbook. There we go. All right, there's one. So let's go ahead and make the other 2. So, got a third here. So, as you saw earlier, I'm just going to make it easier on myself. Flattening that out. And then dividing that into thirds. With my spatula. Okay. Well, I may actually put these in the fridge to let them set a little bit better. cool. There's 2. And I'm just going to mix the last one in this bowl here, since I now have the room for it. Okay. I mean, it's roughly equal pieces. Roughly. Remember, if it doesn't look perfect, it's rustic. Okay. There we go.
To the air, I will walk with the flood like a captain's despair.
Okay, that is actually one of the easiest desserts I've ever made. So, cool. I like this recipe. And it looks awesome. So, oh boy. 1 down. Well, I guess that's 3 down now, with about, 3 to go? 4 to go? Yeah. All right. Give that a quick rinse. And get that out of the way. Alrighty. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to stick those in the fridge to let them set before I take pictures. That way they're not sliding all over the plate. Side-by-side comparison. I think I did a good job. Okay. Check. Okay. Right, so while I think I need to clear off my countertop here because it's gotten kind of crazy. And I'm just going to switch to the recipe for skooma now because I need to let it steep for a while. I mean, obviously I'm not going to be able to try it out now. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to infuse according to the recipe. But to also be able to make these other recipes today, I need to clear up this countertop some, which means putting a lot of these spices away. See, masala, underneath there, Mr. Mustard, pepper, go under the paprika. Oh, I love this song. This song, it's called Temptress. It's inspired by the Dresden Files book series. It's kind of a song from Lashiel, the Fallen Angel's point of view. And we've only just started to dance. Sin from your lips and listening, though you're far from the first that I've had. My middle name is Temptation. Goodbye, you babe. Don't feel too bad. You see, I've had a little bit of practice and the length and the breadth of this game. You could run from my kiss, but I promise you this: you ain't never gonna be the same. Okay, I still need a time for the soup. Okay. Get rid of these. The level of disgrace, you just can't say no to a pretty face. City is sleeping, safe and sound. Never said. As for me, I can be patient, 'cause someday you are gonna be mine. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna have to. So I need those. I don't need this. Why is the Italian seasoning even out? Oh, that's right. We made pizza yesterday. Get rid of the raisins. And the dates. Go in the pantry later. Oh, honey, I know that it's been a long time. Your cloak's a little bit gray. I can help you out with your troubles, but you have to let me stay. Okay, so I'm going to need 10 dried apricots that have already been pitted. They're usually sold pitted. And I'm going to dice those up. Actually, I might use a separate cutting board for that because this stuff can get a wee bit sticky. And I don't feel like cleaning that off my cutting board. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'll tell you what, I'm going to add about 4 more because I've got plenty of them and I like dried apricots. Okay, so I just need to dice these. Also, the idea is I want them small enough to soak up the alcohol and also come out of the bottle without much resistance. Chicago is sleeping safe and sound. I never had it so fine. As for me, I can be patient, 'cause someday you're gonna be mine. Sorry, I can't help it. The song is so good. Hello? Okay, good. My microphone's still working. This is probably the longest I've ever streamed at one time, so I am super paranoid about the battery on my microphone going out. So let me know if my sound ever goes out during the stream, and I will replace the battery as needed. So that is all of my apricots. Cool. All right. And granted, this behind the scenes video is really only possible because I'm cooking recipes that are not mine, and I'm not trying to take photos at the same time for progress photos. However, what I might end up doing too is that my post that was supposed to come out either yesterday or today, my Cyndaquil deviled eggs, did not turn out at all how I wanted them. So I'm gonna have to remake that probably on the stream, or at least remake the first part because I'm making tea eggs and that takes a while to steep, as in at least 24 hours. So unfortunately that means I'm only gonna have 2 main blog posts this month, unless I can happen to, you know, pull up something at literally the last minute. Because this review is going to take a while to write, admittedly, because I am testing out, well, I'm testing out definitely more than 3 recipes, so, yeah. Okay, so for skooma, I'm going to need a cup of sugar and 3/4 cups of boiling water, so I basically need to make simple syrup, it looks like. Let's do a small saucepan for that. So 3/4 cups of water. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to need a cup of sugar, which I may have to go digging around in my pantry for. So what else do I need? 2 cups of vodka. And I'm also going to need, it looks like I'm also going to need a clean bottle, which is also in my pantry. So I'm going to run over really quick to my pantry to do that. So just give me a second. I'll just keep talking while I'm doing that, though. So fun thing happened yesterday. So my best friend from college, and I mean my absolute best friend from college, and I talked to each other for the first time in 10 years. And I mean, it's not that we didn't like each other, it's just a couple of years ago she went completely missing. Well, not missing, she disappeared entirely from social media. I mean, even the ones that are anonymous, she disappeared from. Like, I'm talking live journal and stuff. And it was weird because I was sincerely worried, and I hadn't seen her since college, which was a little over 10 years ago. And I mean, stupid me didn't realize that not only did I have her phone number in my phone, but oh my gosh, I actually have a smartphone now. Yeah, I completely forgot that I could text that number, so I did. I texted that number asking, hey, is this my friend from college's number still? And she's like, it is. How are you? And I'm just going, I apologize for my over a decade-long brain fart. Otherwise, yeah, you totally would have been a bridesmaid at my wedding about 5 years ago. it was surreal, because here's this person that and quite honestly, I thought she was dead. I thought by her and her trash boyfriend, well, ex-boyfriend. This bottle's broken. No. Right. New clean bottle. Please tell me there's a new clean bottle near here. But yeah, considering that both she and her boyfriend at the time completely disappeared off of social media, I thought something had happened. So I'm like asking our friends, going, what happened? Where are they? Are they alive? And my friends are like, all my friends I did know from college are like, I don't know. I seriously don't know. But yeah, stupid me realized 10 years later, 10 years, freaking 10 years later, what's wrong with me? Is this vodka? Yes, that's vodka. Didn't realize that I could just, text that number. Because I'm a goober. So, yeah, I got to talk to my best friend from college for the first time in 10 years. And it was an absolute relief knowing that this person was still alive and still in my life. And yeah, I know that's a very personal story, but yeah, it's kind of awesome, right? Okay, so I'm just not having luck with bottles today, am I? Let's use this one. Maybe this one will open for me. If you're wondering why we have all these bottles, it's because my husband and I make mead. Which, by the way, there are recipes how to make mead in the Elder Scrolls Cookbook. Several different types of mead, no less. So, get yourself a copy and learn how to make some mead. But we're not making mead today, we're making skooma. After I give this bottle another rinse. Okay. Cool. Right. So. This recipe calls for a dash of vanilla extract, 2 cups of vodka, and all those pitted apricots that I have. So I'm just going to switch to the tripod so you can see what I'm doing here. Be a little easier than looking through the prep cam. Just going to first put in those apricots. But I guess it kind of says something about my generation a little bit, considering that we were in college. Actually, we were out of college when smartphones started to become popular. I mean, I don't think I had a smartphone until 2 years after I got out of college. So, and I never texted because I was on my parents' data plan. So texting costs money, sending and receiving. So it's like, oh, if I text this number and it's wrong number, it's not nearly as awkward as calling it. Little anxiety disorder me. So yeah. Okay, there's my apricots. And now I need that 2 cups of vodka. Let's see. Right, so I just need to get that water boiling. So I'll just do that while I am pouring the rest of these ingredients in here. Okay, so 2 cups of vodka. Or, if we're going by my wizard party, Veritaserum. Yeah, my husband and I host a wizard theme party every year, and so we get creative with... That's not the right cap. We get creative with the bottle labels. So yeah, vodka is Veritaserum. And since we're not really huge on drinking vodka, there's always some left over. Maybe this recipe for skooma will change my mind of that. Okay. Also, the reason why I'm adding this to the bottle first is so that temperature change when I add the simple syrup doesn't mess with the glass any. Okay. Yep, it tastes like vodka. Okay. Alright, so now I'm just literally waiting for water to boil. I already got my sugar and my vanilla extract. Giant freaking bottle of it from Costco. And there's a dash. Cool. Right. Oh, and a wire whisk would be helpful. But while I'm waiting for that to come to a boil, I also need a clean food processor. So I'm just gonna hand wash that really quick. Because right now it's got all sorts of dried fruit crap all over it. Okay. It looks like my water has at least come to a simmer. So. Yep. Let's switch that to the stove cam. Which is, there you go, boiling water. So, just gonna whisk that in. And stir it until it completely melts and dissolves, which, as you see, is not really taking all that terribly long to do. So, here we go. Turn that off. Switch back to my crack can for now. I'm going to pour that first into a measuring cup. Cool. And then switch back to my tripod cam, because we're gonna pour that into our skooma. So. Okay, and ooh, was to cap the bottle. Just gonna shake around a little bit. Release the air, and I'm gonna put that, it says to put somewhere dim and let steep for about 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so I'm gonna put that into my dining room for right now and let it steep, because it is very dark in there from Friendsgiving. We have not taken down the house banners, so that's definitely somewhere dim. Okay, and see, 2 to 3 weeks or up to a month for maximum flavor. So I might have a post real quick later on about how good this is. So, skooma is made. Okay. And honey nut treats already made. So that leaves us with the soup and the horker loaf. Let's see, how long does it take for that horker loaf to bake? About 40 minutes. And let's take a look at the soup. Soup takes, let's see, soup takes about 25 minutes. Okay, and then we got the mushroom sauce. So that takes about 5 minutes. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna need to prep some chicken broth for both the soup and the mushroom sauce. So let's go ahead and get that started. And grab a card so I can flip back in between all of that pretty easily. I think that was the last song on this album, so I'm going to switch that up to, goodness, who else do I want to feature today? Social media first. Whew, it's gotten warm in here. Let's see. Unwoman, maybe? No, let's do Valentine Wolf. Let's see if they have a Bandcamp. So Valentine Wolf, another band, really good friends of mine. They do what they call chamber metal. So we're talking kind of chamber style music, like classical music, but done with a metal twist to it. So, okay. That is a Christmas album. Nope, not playing that. Let's play Dolorosa Lacrimosa. Okay, yeah, this one looks good. Once again, excellent people. Hi, Shruti. You want to come say hi to my followers? For those who are wondering, this is my kitty. This is Schrodinger. He's my good boy, and I love him. And he was just coming over to say hello. Weren't you, baby? Yeah. Okay, honey. There you go. There's a good boy. Yeah. And it's usually Ginger who comes over and sleeps on my anti-fatigue mat, so I'm usually on something that's not an anti-fatigue mat, i.e. the floor. Right. So, chicken stock. Since I don't have any fresh, boxed chicken stock, and I haven't really made any, stock recently, I'm going to have to resort to my bouillon cubes, which obviously is not the healthiest option, but, it works. That, and I don't have to add any extra salt. So, for these recipes, I'm going to need, let's see, for the imperial mushroom sauce, I need a half cup of chicken broth, and for the soup, I will need 6 cups of chicken broth. Okay, so ultimately 6.5 cups of chicken broth. So, to make that easy on myself, just going to get a kettle full of water going. Whew. Waiting for water to fill. Yep, so exciting. But yeah, like I said, this music is done by Valentine Wolf. They are excellent musicians and excellent people. They also play at the Atlanta Steampunk Expo every year. And what's really cool about that is that at this steampunk convention here in Atlanta, they each year they play a different silent film, and then have Valentine Wolf playing live to the film, like playing their own kind of improvised soundtrack to go along with the silent film. Last year's convention there was the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and I think the year before that it was Nosferatu, so it was super, super epic to watch. Alright, so now that I'm literally waiting for water to boil, let's go ahead and measure out what I need for some of these other things. So let's start with the soup, because that's a little easier to prep for. I'm going to get some more prep bowls here. There we go. Just so I have them all in the same spot. So I'll need a teaspoon of dried thyme. There you go. And 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I know I'm going to need the butter for the sauce too, so I'm just going to grab that. Cool. So, stick of butter. That's ready to go with my herbs. All right, and for the mushroom sauce, 2 more tablespoons of butter. And white wine vinegar, a teaspoon of that seasoning, and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, which equals to about a 1/4 cup. So, I believe. Nope, that's 4 tablespoons. So, need a tablespoon in my life. Tablespoon. All right. 1 and 2. Okay. Do I need heavy cream for anything else? I'm about to find that out. I believe I need it for the Horker loaf. So, just going to flip back to that. That is not the Horker loaf. That is a Horker loaf. I need 1/3 of a cup of heavy cream. That's going to need a larger dish. So, do I need the tablespoon for anything else? I do not need the tablespoon for anything else, so that's going in the wash. Okay. 1/3 cup of heavy cream. There we go. Here it is. Okay. Wait. Well, it's too late now. That, and it's a little easier to tell what this is for because of the dishes I'm using. So, mushrooms. Gonna go. Heavy cream is gonna go with the mushrooms over here. Gonna go with all the soup stuff, which is currently in the fridge. That's all the heavy cream I need, so that's going back. Don't need the lemon juice anymore. And I think that's all the butter I need too. Do I need any butter for this? I do not. butter away too. Alrighty. This can go in the pantry. This can go in... Nope, I need breadcrumbs for my recipe. For my meatloaf. Which I may actually need a larger mixing bowl for here. So I'm gonna grab that. Actually, no, I don't need to grab that because that's what I had the cabbage for. And because of that, I'm going to cook this in my Dutch oven. That way I can also keep it warm. Or it's also easier to reheat. So we'll do that. Heavy cream can go here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get our soup going. I guess. And so... Doesn't actually say when to add the chicken stock. Oh, no, it does. There it is. Add the time in the broth. Okay. Cool. Well, in that case, I'm going to take advantage of the time I have with this soup and get started on that. So I guess we're just going to move to our Dutch oven here. Turn on the vent because it's starting to feel rather warm in here. And start heating that up. About a medium flame. Okay. Put that a little bit more down. There you go. All right, so it says to melt it in a large saute pan, but I decided I'm going to do my Dutch oven for this instead. And how much do I need? That's not. That's for the grr. That's for the soup. Okay. Starting to get things a little mixed up here. Okay, and it sounds like our stock is almost ready. So, first I want to tell if my pan is hot. Not in the slightest. Okay. Whew. So while we're waiting for that, I might start measuring out some other things for my horker loaf. So for that, I'm going to need, let's see, I'm going to need my bowl back. Well, that's fine. I can just use this to measure. Until then. So, need about half a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm using Italian breadcrumbs because that's what I happen to have on hand. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's see, I want to see the stormcloak seasoning. I'm going to need about a teaspoon of, which is over here. Doesn't have to be fancy. Actually, you know what? I want a little bit more. So I'm going to add a little bit more. So just to let you know, I'm adding twice of the amount of stormcloak seasonings add for the recipe because I think it sounds delicious and I want more flavor. So there we go. All right, so now try it back to the soup, or at least start on it. So, okay, heating up, but no cigar still. Where was I going? Yes. Horker loaf. Right. And I need to add salt and pepper, even though I think I have salt and pepper. Where did I put that bowl of breadcrumbs? Here it is. So, I'm just going to add a pinch of kosher salt. And some fresh cracked pepper. You know what? That's taking forever. Do this instead. It asked for a teaspoon, so we'll do a teaspoon. That was a quarter of a teaspoon? Yep. So 3 more of those. 2, 3, 4. Whew. Okay, it looks like my pan is definitely hot enough, so let's add butter and hope it doesn't scorch on me. Turn down the heat just a little bit. Come on. There you go. We'll melt that down. No, Shreddy. No. Nope. Calm down. My cat was scratching at the chair. Okay. Tell you, some smells are just not nearly as good as that of melted butter. Alright. Now I'm just going to add the leeks. And cook those until they are soft, but at first I want to coat them with the butter first. And add a pinch of kosher salt. Wherever my kosher salt happened to go hiding. Aha, here it is. Okay. So yeah, while that cooks down, I need to make up my stock, which is definitely stopped boiling now. So I need about how much? Let's see, soup I need 6 cups, which that is a 4-cup measuring cup. Right. Go back to our prep. So, just need to add a lot of bouillon cubes. Come on, get out of there, dang it. Yeah. Of course it's when I'm on camera that things refuse to open, to unwrap. That's just the way of things, isn't it? You're doing so competently, and then people are watching you, and then it's like, oh, I'm just going to smack myself in the face. For no reason whatsoever. Okay. That's about 4 cups. I'm going to check on my leeks real quick. They're still softening up some. Okay. That's my prep. Probably should have unwrapped these earlier. just going to move those closer to my soup. Keep it separate. And then, I'm just going to take a half of one of these squares, or at least try to. Yeah. Put what's left in the back in the box. And then, about a half a cup in there. Cool. How are my leeks doing? Okay, I think it's probably okay to add the cabbage now. What else do I add it with? Can't help but feel like I need more butter in this, but okay, it says to add the cabbage and then cook for 10 minutes until softened. So, change that to the stove real quick. And I'm just going to set a timer for 10 minutes here. As you can see, it is kind of cooking down a bit as I keep stirring. It's going to be releasing a lot of its moisture. Cool. Oh boy. Alright, so that's going to take a little while to cook. So let's go ahead and start measuring out some other things. I'm just going to give my broth a quick stir here to dissolve. Cool. And that also means that I have a free bowl to mix up my meatloaf in. So I'm just going to give that a quick wipe down. Okay. Just need to wash that blade. Just stirring it so it doesn't stick. Alright. That was the wrong page. Let's go with porker loaf. I'm running out of counter space here. Alright. Maybe I'll do that once I happen to have apples and broth in the pot. Let's see here. Prep. Let's go with the Let's go ahead and pour that in there. That's an egg in there. Cool. Let's see how that soup's doing. Add another pinch of salt to that. Okay. And if I follow the instructions properly, I'll be needing to... It's got 4.5 minutes left on that. Oh, right. So let's, I guess, start on the porker loaf. So, I'm going to have to switch this over real quick to my food processor. Let's get this broth out of the way for now. So, into my food processor. I need to aim it better for one. Okay. And let's see. I will need 3.75 ounce tin of smoked oysters, peeled and chopped carrot, and minced garlic. Really? 5 cloves divided. But where does it say minced garlic? I don't mince 2 cloves of garlic, so I'm going to need 2 cloves of garlic for that. So, I'm just going to switch us back to the prep cam here. It's going to show what I'm doing with that. So, total I need about 5 cloves of garlic for this recipe. So I'm going to go for the largest ones I possibly can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here, let me show you the easy way of peeling garlic. And there you go. So, as you can see, you smash it. First, need to check on that cabbage. Swish it around. Spoon. Where did I put my spoon? Aha, spoon. All right. There you go. And back. 2 cloves down, 3 to go. Okay, that one's going in the food processor. Because I want the most intact ones to go on the top of my porker loaf. And Number 5. Okay, now to figure out which ones are the 3 most intact ones. I'd say 1, 2... 1, 2, 3. All right. So, that goes in there with the other garlic clove. Just to give this cabbage a stir again. Oh, I've got about a minute left, so now you get to see what I'm doing with that in about a minute. So, switch back, clear all this off. Balance my knife in a way that hopefully doesn't fall into the heavy cream. Ah. Ha, no! Ah. Garlic peel going everywhere. All right. Cool. Let's get that carrot out of the fridge. So, just need to peel it. Shut up, timer, I hear you. Okay. Yes, it's not pretty, but that's okay, because I'm just doing that to it anyway. To then throw it into my food processor. But yeah, it sounds like the timer has gone off for the soup. So now I just need, shut that for one. Which is good because it sounds like most of the moisture has now cooked off. So now I just need to put in my dried thyme. What else? And broth. Okay. Done with that. And my apples. Which have thankfully not browned for me. Cool. So now, just going to stir that up. And let it cook for another 15 minutes. So, just going to set a timer now for 15 minutes. Cool. All right. Is that all I need to do? Cool. Just switch this back really quick. Excellent. And I'm just going to reduce that to low so I'm not yelling over it. And we're going to switch back to our food processor here. There we go. So. Cool. So now I've got my tin of smoked oysters. Gonna add that to the mix. And listen to my cat start going crazy because of the sound this can makes. And I'm just gonna throw that in, oil and all. So I think it's that I can use the oil, right? Doesn't say to drain it. All right. And here's hoping that this doesn't make my recycling smell like fish. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna put that in the trash, aren't I? Okay, so we've got smoked oysters, carrot, and garlic in my food processor at the moment. So I'm just gonna pulse that until it looks disgusting. And disgusting it does look. So, oh wow, okay, yep, that definitely smells like smoked oysters. It's fine though. Let's go back to our prep cam here. Okay, so for those just joining us and wondering what the heck did I just make, I'm making Horker loaf from the official Elder Scrolls Cookbook by Chelsea Monroe Cassell. It's supposed to look like this when it's done. So, this is what I'm supposed to be mixing it with all the meat and everything. So, okay, so I've got all that. Combined puree mixture with the ground beef, breadcrumbs, heavy cream, egg, stormcloak seasoning, salt, and pepper. Did I already add stormcloak seasoning? Yes, I did. What do I need the butter for? I need the butter for mushrooms. Okay, and so I need my ground beef. Hi, princess. Can you move for me? Yeah. My cat smells fish, so... And they heard a can go off, so you can imagine what sort of mood that they're in at the moment. Okay, so... I've got my ground beef. It doesn't say in the book, it doesn't specify what % lean to use for the ground beef. So I would just say use your best judgment. I've got, because they were on sale, 73% lean and an 80% lean. Hopefully there should be enough fat in the oil from and the cream to kind of make up for that. So, hi Shorty. Gonna come say hi again? Are you my little boy? Are you my baby boy? Yes. Only on this channel you can see me talking to my cat. So, right, meat. I need to release the beef. Okay. Wow, this looks gross. And if you're if you're turned off by the sight of raw meat, well, get over it. You're on a cooking channel. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like I've lost followers on Facebook before because I've dared to post a picture of raw protein. But you know, I guess some people are just grossed out by that. And I'm just going, why are you following a cooking channel to begin with? But I mean, photos, I can avoid it. With video, well, mostly with streaming video, not so much. So, okay, so we got our 2 pounds of 1.5 pounds. I'm supposed to use 1.5 pounds of meat. Well, I'll put the remainder in a bag. So just have to eyeball about how much is a half pound and stick that in a Tupperware for later. Throw in some chili or something. Okay. And use one of the smaller ones so it doesn't expose it to nearly as much air. So let's do about, that's about a half. Yeah. As yes, I know they don't normally sell ground beef in half pounds. So, now I need that oyster puree. Oh boy, yeah, it smells like oysters. All right. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love oysters, but it's a very strong smell. So just a warning, if you're making this yourself. If you're more adverse to that kind of thing, well, why the heck are you cooking it to begin with? But if you're sensitive to strong smells, well, that's just one you're going to have to put up with if you want to make this dish. Okay. All right, so got my puree, got my breadcrumbs, got my egg. Ah. Surprisingly did not get on me. And my heavy cream. Alright. And good, that was the amount I needed. Alright, so. Just need to go in there and. Alright, I need to preheat the oven for 425 degrees. And it wants me to line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Okay. First, gotta finish mixing all this together. Just want to make sure it's uniform consistency. I actually kind of think that the bacon that I'm going to be putting on top of this is going to keep it nice and moist in the oven. So okay. Cool. All right, so just need to grab a baking sheet real quick. Check on my soup. Just got about a little under 3 minutes left. It smells awesome, I can say that. All right, so baking sheet. Where was that one? Oh, this one right here. Stupid me. All right. Cool. Huh. Princess. Thank you. All right. There. That is the garlic clove. It's still okay. All right. And just doing a wee bit of cleanup. Hi, Princess. How are you? Parchment paper. All right. So stick that on there to weigh it down for now until I'm ready for it. First, I need to make my meatloaf. So, this is where we adopt the Miss Frizzle standpoint. Make mistakes, get messy. Says to form it into slightly oblong dome no higher than 4 inches on a prepared baking sheet. So this is where I guess I make it into a football of meat, or a dragon egg of meat, whichever you prefer, I suppose. But I don't want it any larger than 4 inches, which that's about 2. Now you're probably wondering why I'm doing this in a bowl. Part of it is what you're about to see me do. See, that's about 3 inches. It's about 3.5. Whatever it is, I kind of want it uniform. So, okay, now that I've got that, I guess the nice thing about parchment paper is that, okay, so domed, so I kind of want it to, it's a little bit like a loaf of bread. And it sounds like the soup is done, which, lordy, it's done. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a quick stir. That definitely looks like it's ready. So, I'm going to turn the heat off and find where the heck I'd put my pot holder. This will do. Put that on top, and then I'm going to switch it back to an unused burner to cool down. Well, I wouldn't say cool down, more like keep warm. So yeah, now that that's done, we can focus on our Horker loaf. So we've got plenty of time to shape this up some. Where's that bowl? There it is. I'm just going to use the parchment paper now to shape it. that way I also don't have to touch it. There we go. That looks pretty good. Cool. All right, so now that that has been formed, I'm going to take my garlic cloves and press them into the top of the loaf. So they look like little horns. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. And then finally, says to take about 6 strips of bacon, which I did have. They're right here. Okay. Turn my vent off for now. Shut up. Ah, there we go. Okay, so now you can hear me better, I suppose. So, some bacon here. One. Huh. Just next to the garlic. Okay. So it wants me to try forming it like I see in the picture. So, 2 on each side. That's it. Oh, 5 bacon slices. Whew. Sounds like that album's done, but I can't really change it over until I finish this. Okay, and then it instructs to just top it with 1 more strip of bacon to cover the garlic. And I'm assuming that this is to keep it from burning in the oven. So, just gonna put it over the garlic. I'm trying not to attach it to the rest of the bacon here, because I don't want it to stick. So there we go. Cool. All right. Whew. Wow, I've been cooking for about 3 hours straight, like 3.5 hours straight. Good Lord. Oh, I'm just going to mute the microphone for just a second so you don't have to listen to me blow my nose. And my oven just beeped at me, which means it is time to put my porker loaf in the oven. So, let's go ahead and just do that. Okay. And that, I believe, according to the book, it's about 40 minutes. So I'm going to check it at about 35 minutes. See how that does. Now, in the meantime, since I already finished my soup up, which if you want to see, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Cool enough. Apple and cabbage stew, also from the official Game of Thrones cookbook. But, yeah, I've got one, that means I have one last thing to cook up, and that is the imperial mushroom sauce. So, after I just kind of move some of the stuff out of the way, I can get my ingredients together for that. And let's do, I think I've got another saucepan in here that's going to work well for that. Let's go with the smaller one here. Yeah, this will work. As my grill pan goes flying. Don't mind me. Okay. So, there you go. And let's turn back in the book to that. So if you're interested in seeing what that looks like, I'm just gonna, that's what I'm making. Imperial mushroom sauce from the official Elder Scrolls cookbook by Chelsea Monroe Cassell. Okay, so melt the butter in a saucepan over medium heat, add mushrooms. Okay, I'm also going to need flour, so let's measure that out. And use that dish, it's still clean. And let's get some more music on. So, see, that was Valentine Wolf's Dolorosa Lacrimosa. Let's switch them over to The Haunting of Mary Shelley, also by Valentine Wolf. So, there we are. Valentine Wolf is a duo based out of South Carolina, really good friends of mine. They play what they call Victorian chamber metal. So it's like, take kind of classical Victorian chamber music and metal. Their bass player, Braxton, is honestly one of the best damn bass players I've ever seen. And his lovely wife has an amazing voice, as you can hear. So, okay. Flour, got white wine vinegar, cream, salt and pepper, and I already got my chicken broth? Where did I put my chicken broth? Didn't pour it in by accident, did I? Nope, no I didn't. It's right there. Okay. Alright. Cool, so let's get started on that. So let's switch to our stovetop cam here. Aim it a little better, obviously. And heat that up. Whew. And I think I might need another drink soon, because I've been on my feet for almost 4 hours. But yes, apple juice and bourbon. Great combination. So first, I want to melt the butter. Yeah. Take the paper off the butter before putting it in your pan. Obviously. And now you're gonna just watch butter melt. How about that? And we're just gonna wait for that to melt as I clean up some of my kitchen. It's just, or you can just watch me clean up my kitchen. I mean, it's your choice. Speak now or forever hold your peace. kick the stool across the floor because I'm classy like that. Okay. Though, well, it's almost melted, but yeah, it's like I'm so busy this week that I didn't even have a chance to completely clear out my dishwasher before starting today's stream. Well, it sounds and looks like that butter is just about melted, so take a quick break from cleaning to get those mushrooms in the pan. So, okay, next. Going to add my mushrooms. We'll butter up the pan a little bit first. Add my mushrooms. Stir them to coat. So add a little bit of olive oil to that. Just a wee bit, just a drizzle. It says to then let it cook for about 5 minutes. Lower the heat just a smidge. So, cool. See what heat did it say to put it on? Medium heat. Yep, it's at that. So, as that cooks down, I'm just going to continue doing a little bit of cleanup. About 5-minute mark to do so. And just so you can see it sort of cook off all that excess moisture, which that's why you're seeing the steam coming out at the moment. My kitchen smells like mushrooms, and it's amazing. Okay, how am I doing on battery? Probably fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Porkaloaf smells amazing so far. Just took a quick, just open the oven just briefly to get a smell of it. It smells good. But yeah, as you can see, the moisture is leaving the mushrooms. It's cooking down, shrinking. Now, it's probably okay not to add oil to that, but a little extra fat never hurt anybody. I mean, fat is a flavor carrier. I probably should add a camera right guess, a view of what I'm doing over here. Maybe. I think it's too late to edit my scenes at the moment. I got 1:38 left on those mushrooms. As I continue to unload the dishwasher in the background. Man, they smell good. Is that a single? Yep, that was a single. Oh, okay. It's not gonna autoplay. Got it. Oh, snap, crackle, pop. That's my neck. Oh, ow. Well, someone shared this. That's awesome. Cool. Alright. And what about Twitter? Twitter seems rather unresponsive. Oh well. 28 seconds left on those mushrooms. Probably, why the heck is she unloading the dishwasher while this is happening? Well, I'm a multitasker. And the more cleanup I do now, the less cleanup I have to do later. Just pure logic there. Okay. That sounds like the timer just went off. Get that quick stir. Definitely has some nice browning on there. Okay. Cool. Now that those are cooked down, what does the book tell me to do? It tells me to toss in the flour and then add the chicken broth. Okay, so. Toss that in. Stir it until all this fat absorbs that flour. But also part of this is to keep it from lumping up when I add the liquid. I'm essentially creating a roux in the pan drippings. Okay. So, now I can add my chicken broth. Scraping up the bottom of the pan so it absorbs it. Okay. What next? Let's see, and then stir in the seasoning and cream and season with salt and pepper. So I'm going to need a teaspoon of that seasoning. I just put somewhere with my cream. Okay, seasoning. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I turn the heat on and off. Okay, and then add my cream. I realize I forgot to add the white wine vinegar. Let's see, when did it say to do that? It doesn't. Okay, so noted for the book, it doesn't say when to actually add the white wine vinegar. Okay. So I'm just going to add it towards the end because part of it too is to keep this from curdling. I'm going to turn off. Actually, it's probably good that you add this after turning the heat off because otherwise it gets all kind of doughy on you. Yeah, that's not really a sauce so much as it is a paste. I'm going to add a bit of water to that. Thin it out some. Yeah. Probably don't need nearly as much flour either. But I mean, it smells amazing. Don't get me wrong. Just gonna get a quick taste. Just gonna add a little bit more acid in the form of white wine vinegar. Of course, it also might just be my climate that I'm working in. More and a little bit more water to thin that out. Since I use bouillon cubes, the salt content's just fine. But if I were you, I would, using just regular chicken broth or chicken stock, I would add some salt to taste. And kosher salt to that so you can taste it immediately. Okay, now that I've thinned that out with water, it is looking a lot better. A little bit more like the picture, I think. So, I wonder if beef broth was used in the original picture, because it's not looking nearly as rich as actually, you know what I'm going to use? I think I got some browning sauce from when I reviewed the Fallout cookbook. Browning sauce used a lot in gravies, and also it's used in the Nuka-Cola recipe. But in this particular case, I'm just going to use just a wee bit to add a little bit more color to my sauce here. Make it a little more appetizing. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. So yeah, just kind of my browning sauce. Actually, no, add just a wee bit more. It doesn't really taste like much of anything. But a lot of times when you see gravies, like rich brown gravies, this is what they use. Either that or beef demi-glace, which is a heck of a lot more expensive. So if anything, this is like adding food dye to something. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. Okay, just gonna give that a quick taste. Oh god, that's excellent. Okay, so now that that's done, let's put it into my serving bowl. And there we go. Imperial mushroom sauce. I'm just going to eat what's left over because I like mushrooms and it tastes good. Heck yeah. Alright, so that should be everything cooked apart from the soup and the porker loaf, which I still have about 15 minutes left on. So I'm just going to talk and continue cleaning my kitchen and all that until it is time for the loaf to come out and I can stop the stream to go take some pictures. Okay. see if the skooma is showing any signs of steeping. I guess kind of. I kind of wish I had decided to make a double recipe. I mean, I certainly have a bottle large enough for it. Oh, let's see. Serving spoon. Wonder if I have anything that looks period appropriate in here. Might be a little too large for that bowl. Let's see, how clean are you? You look clean. Whew. Yeah, this is the problem if you don't happen to have, if you don't happen to clean as you go. You have a little too much out and then go, did I clean this already? Is it dirty? Is it clean? I don't know. I didn't put it where it's supposed to be. And just like how you lose count measuring something if you're talking to somebody. Guilty. Okay. Ah. Definitely need more drink. So just do ice water for now. Hi, princess, what you doing? You try to get in the dishwasher? You know you're not supposed to. Yeah, I don't have a cat. I have a furry Roomba. A furry meowing Roomba. Okay. I wonder why I'm drinking out of a tiki sippy cup. It's because it makes less noise when drinking. I do this for your sake. Oh! Ginger. What? What is it, princess? Meows. Oh, did we forget to give you water? No, you've got plenty of water. Come here, silly girl. Want to say hi to my followers? Want to say hi? This is Ginger. She's my little princess angel who likes to trip me and try to get me to drop whatever I'm cooking. 19 years old and has a baby's face. See? Yes. Hi, it's my baby girl. Hi, baby girl. Okay, honey. Okay, there you go. There's a good girl. Okay. What was I doing? Right, I don't need the oats out anymore. Those can go away. Whew. And it is getting warm in this kitchen. That is perfectly fine. Okay. Glassware can go away. Yeah. I think I'd like to do next time I do cooking out of a cookbook like this. I want to actually stream in the author of the cookbook. Which I may do next run. I mean, the reason why I'm doing all this today is because I'm planning on having the review out hopefully by Monday or Tuesday. So at least have 3 posts this month. Yeah, it's been Oh, shit, no, I got more than 3 posts, but still. Need something for my Patreon subscribers. But no, this is not going to be the only time I do the Elder Scrolls Cookbook recipes. I may ask Chelsea to speak with me on Zoom, and we can talk as we cook things. So I think that'll be fun. The next cookbook review I'm planning on doing for the blog will be the Mother Cookbook. Well, Mother Cookbook, which is a fan-made, Earthbound-inspired cookbook, done by my friend Brian Connor, or also known as Level 1 Chef, here on Twitch as well as his own blog. So, considering that the 25th anniversary of Earthbound is this year, I figure it would be perfect timing to do that. We're going to try to get him on the show too. I know that he does a lot of streaming as well, or at least did a lot of streaming before he and his girlfriend started up their board game cafe, which I'm definitely going to have to make at some point. I'll make it at 2. That's in upstate New York. Bard and Baker. And Brian's also a phenomenal chef as well. He's a pastry chef, starting out, but he also makes really great savory food too. Yeah. So, that will be probably in July, closer to the actual 25th anniversary of Earthbound. So, 9 minutes left on that Horker loaf. Let's go ahead and start clearing stuff out now. But yeah. So I think I might do that once a month, where maybe bring in Chelsea, if she wants to, my friend Victoria, who did the official Fallout cookbook, Mr. Daniel Myers of medievalcookery.com too. Because one of the things I love about what I do is that our community has to be one of the nicest darn communities I've ever met. We have a group of fandom-based food bloggers called Fandom Foodies, in which we do monthly recipe link-ups, posting our own recipes, of course, with a theme each month. And, goodness, before the end of I need to put the link into the chat. This current month's theme is Marvel movies. And let's see. Just gotta find that link up really quick for you so I can drop it in the chat. Let's see. Marvel Universe Eats. So if you want to look that up, it's hashtag Marvel Universe Eats. Or, it's on Culinary Adventures with Cam. You can check that out there. There we go. But if you want to kind of stick around and see more link-ups from Fandom Foodies, next month is Pokemon, which I originally did the first Pokemon link-up, Pokemon, but this upcoming month it's going to be hosted by, what's her name? I think Cupcake Index. So be sure to check that as well. But I'm just going to send you the Fandom Foodies website so you can see all the other things we have going. I actually hosted last month for Game of Thrones, hashtag Thronesgiving. I'm going to try to have another Game of Thrones recipe up before the finale later next month. So, yeah. Now they are absolutely fantastic group of people. Started by my another local Atlanta fandom food blogger, Pretty Cake Machine, Katarina McCauley. Her blog is called Pretty Cake Machine, and she is a professional cake decorator and baker who makes geeky-inspired cakes. It was kind of funny because I met her on Twitter of all places. It's like, oh wow, there's another Atlanta geek food blogger. I'm just going, woot! Yes! Hello, new friend. And it's kind of awesome because she's also a cat mom of 3, like I am. Well, cat mom of 2 currently. But she's a cat mom in every sense of the word, just like me. I kind of joke around saying that she's a cook of sweets, I'm a cook of savory items, but we're both salty. Which wouldn't be wrong in the slightest. Ooh, okay. Now the goal here is to have as little in my sink as possible by the end of this. So it's kind of a race against the porker loaf to clean up before I take pictures. I can do it. It's possible. It's like Tetris and all of the silverware, which I totally can sing because it's the Tetris theme is not actually written for the game Tetris. It is a Slavic folk song called cabbage. And the reason why I know this is because I used to be on cast at the Renaissance Festival, and one of the musicians on there. So that was one of our opening gate songs, which, by the way, the Georgia Renaissance Festival is currently running, starting as of, I want to say 2 weeks ago. I would have gone today, but I had all this work to do. And also, we kind of need to order some last-minute costume items for my husband before we go. So that's going to be us going next week. Or maybe I'll post up some pictures to the Facebook page or something. Honestly, the Renaissance Festival is kind of how I got into the Atlanta geek community to begin with. And I have this thing where I say that if you know one person in the Atlanta geek community, you know everybody in the Atlanta geek community, and then the country, and then the world. I mean, and the reason for that is DragonCon. DragonCon is the largest sci-fi fantasy convention in the southeast United States. It takes place in Atlanta Labor Day weekend. And this year will be not only my 15th year going, but I also joined volunteer force as of last year to help it run it. And I'm on media relations. And this year I've been asked to write press releases. So I'm super excited about that because, for one, DragonCon and the Renaissance Festival are kind of the two things that are responsible for everything cool in my adult life. I met my husband at Anime Weekend Atlanta, which probably wouldn't be in town, like a thing here in town if it wasn't for DragonCon. A lot of the same people who run DragonCon also volunteer at AWA, or have volunteered at AWA. Also, my husband wouldn't have got into the convention scene if it hadn't been for the local PBS station's documentary, 4 Days of DragonCon. His parents were watching and going, hey, you like costume making, you're in the SCA and all that, you should go to this DragonCon thing. So he made up a medieval Batman costume within a week and started going. And because he started going to DragonCon and enjoyed himself, he went to AWA, where he met me. So, yeah, if you have a chance to go to DragonCon, it's huge. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say, oh, you'll be fine. If you have anxiety issues, there are ways to get around the convention that are better for you. And, I mean, if you want to message me at some point about it and ask me about that, I'd be more than happy to tell you because, like I said, this is my 15th year going. Dragon Con's kind of home. I mean, when I go to the Hyatt and Marriott, excuse me, is it, how are they spelling it? Marriott? That's how they're calling it now? I feel like I'm just walking back into my house. Or walking in for a big nerdy family reunion. Okay, so that would be the Horker loaf. So let's go ahead and get that out. Well, no, that's got 5 minutes left on it. Yeah, I can definitely go for another 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna let that go. And while I continue to put stuff into my dishwasher. But yeah, I'm not just telling you this because I work Dragon Con. In all honesty, I have no problem getting a ticket. I'm not going, no, I have to talk them up because it's my job. No, I don't. It's my home. And when you walk into my home, I want everyone to feel welcome because it's our home. So, yeah. If you happen to find yourself in the Atlanta area during Labor Day weekend, consider coming out to Dragon Con. Maybe I'll set up a meetup or something one of those days. That could be pretty fun. I can't promise that I'll bring food, but I might. So, like I said, I can't promise it, but I might. So there's that. Okay, that's clean. That's not clean. Those are not clean. But there's not enough of them to justify putting them in. Clean you. Yeah, but as I was saying, fandom food community has just got to be one of the nicest ones I've ever met. And a lot of it is just, oh my gosh, I am in awe of your creativity. Because it's not just about recreating things. It's about interpreting our favorite things and creating something out of it. I mean, well, yes, these various games and all that have a tendency to kind of lay out what you need to use. It doesn't really tell you the style of how it's cooked. It doesn't really include any of the seasoning so much. It kind of describes it slightly, but it doesn't really give out full detail, which that is, I guess, kind of our job to interpret. So yeah. And like I said, if it wasn't for this particular cookbook author, I would not have gotten into food blogging. So I really have a lot to thank her for, which I'm definitely going to include in my review. The first Thronesgiving is thanks to Chelsea and Monroe Cassell, because she was the one who did the official Game of Thrones cookbook. So yeah, so what I'm guessing I'm saying is we as fans are a lot more connected than we give ourselves credit for. Okay, and you can go. All right. That might do better on the top rack, which I don't have room for. Haha! I shall make room. It shall work, I think. Okay. We're gonna work should work. Oh, and then I realize, oh gosh. You know what? We'll worry about that later. Porker loaf is almost done. I've managed to get a load of dishes in before it's done. We're good. So, less stuff for me to clean after it comes out of the oven. So, let's get that started. Haha. Success. Okay, so, shut up, oven. I can hear you. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that looks good. Whew, wow, that's a lot of bacon fat. All right, that is the Horker loaf from the official Game of Thrones cookbook. Not Game of Thrones, official Elder Scrolls cookbook. Okay, and what else do I need to do before it's considered done? Peel back the top piece of bacon to reveal the garlic tusks before serving. Okay. There you go. Porker loaf. And that's a lot of bacon fat. Okay, well, I'm going to drain that off before serving it. Just to figure out what plate works out better for it. I'm going to let that cool down first. Let the bacon drip a little bit more. In the meantime, I think I could probably start serving up some other things. So, let's get that out of the way for now. Get out my apple cabbage stew, which has been sitting in this cast iron Dutch oven. Whew. Alrighty. Just put that over there. And ladle. So the bowl I wanted to serve it in, I'll use this one. Need a few more apple pieces on top to look a little bit more visually dynamic. Okay, and there's my imperial mushroom sauce going inside the porker loaf. Whew, right. Probably move this back to the burner. And right, need to plate the honey nut treat. Probably okay doing only 2 of these in the picture, but part of this is figuring out how to plate this so it looks the most dynamic. I mean, that's part of the whole thing of being a food blogger. kind of want the rosemary stalk to show out some in my photo. I'll mess that upstairs a little bit. So I'm just going to stick that back in the fridge to keep it nice and firm for everything else. And let's see here. Is this large enough to fit? No, it is not. Okay. Let's do this plate instead. Chef tax. Garlic infused bacon. Nice. Okay. So it's going to take some creative maneuvering. Yeah. Turn out quite exactly how I wanted it, but maybe if I tuck this in some. Okay. All right. Well, let's see how it looks from the side. It's pretty good, right? Okay, so that just final view. What I've made here. And of course, when I post this to YouTube later, I'll use one of the promo photos. And I think you probably want to see all this stuff together. And that's not showing up. Okay. 4 dishes, all done within almost 4 or 5 hours. I mean, granted, a lot of this was prepping as I went along. Realistically, you should be able to prep a lot of the stuff like night before, so you can just kind of assemble things, you know, if you're keeping that in mind for having a party or whatnot. But all these dishes were pretty darn easy to make. They only look complicated. So I'm rating that as a very big win for the official Elder Scrolls Cookbook by Chelsea Monroe Cassell and Insight Editions. If you want to check out the review, which will be up in a few days with, you know, professional looking photos, blah, 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 check out my blog, thegluttonousgeek.com. Just going to pop that into the chat there. I also stream twice a week normally with Meal Prep Monday, where I normally just kind of prep whatever's in my fridge. And then on Wednesday I have Munchies and Minis, where I first make a D&D inspired dish and then work on painting a miniature. I'm doing the 52 weeks of D&D challenge. This upcoming week the theme word is dragon. So I'm going to be making I haven't quite decided yet between chromatic cake pops or chromatic cheese balls. Well, dragon eggs that are cheese balls. You get the idea. The idea is that that should be good for also Game of Thrones. So, if you want to check that out, just go ahead and follow my channel. It was a lot of fun working today on all these dishes. I am bloody exhausted, and I'm about to take pictures. So, thank you for joining me. You have a great evening, and cheers. Let's see who we can raid, whose channel we can raid in the meantime. Who is streaming at the moment? Who is streaming at the moment, Twitch? Let me know. You gonna let me know? Really? Error searching for live channels. Okay, let's go with working or unmade gaming. Let's go with unmade gaming. We'll just go ahead and raid their channel really quick in about 10 seconds. So if you're interested in oh, it's the Extra Life 12-hour charity stream, even better. So yeah, let's go ahead and raid them. Thank you for joining me. Have a great night.